This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
This is my idol. You're gonna acknowledge me.
All right, everybody, guys and girls, welcome back to another edition of the SmackDown Review right here on the WWE Podcast. As always, I'm one of the hosts here on the show, Michael Ritter. You can find me on Twitter at Michael5Ritter and on Instagram at MichaelRitter5, and also the host of the Football Function Podcast, available on all of your podcasting platforms, including Patreon. And you can also follow the show on Instagram at football_function. But anyway, joining me on today's episode, my humble co-host, John Carrasco. John, how you doing, bud?
I am doing pretty good, man. I'm, just kind of getting out of the fields of work and everything and starting to relax. So, I mean, definitely enjoying what we got to see and everything like that. So, yeah, definitely excited to break that down.
Yeah, this was an episode, right? This was one of those shows that definitely left us no shortage of things to talk about. Clearly, the big headline of the show was Michael Cole basically addressing the whole Sasha Banks thing. And I know that we usually go in chronological order here whenever we break down SmackDown, but I feel like this one's worthy enough that we get to it right here at the top of the show. And it doesn't matter, I guess, how long it takes to talk about it. I do feel like it's worthy to get it out here early.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm kind of excited that you're kind of starting it right now because I was, kind of woo. But, I mean, now that we can kind of talk about it, I don't know, man. It's kind of, I'm going to start with my opinion. You kind of bounce back. But I kind of feel like it's starting to kind of, like, play into a story now just because it was... It was so broadcasted live, They told us that, Michael Cole, it kind of seemed like he was like listening and talking at the same time, So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking there's like something behind this.
See, I want to believe that. As much as I do, I want to believe that it's a work. But I don't think it is, man. I just think, there's been too many credible sources who have no reason to lie. Too many people have reported this being real. And I do think there is some, where there's smoke, there's fire, in that sense, I guess you could say. But, man, it's crazy because, obviously, people have been talking about this all week. People have been mentioning, their opinion on it. They've been saying, well, let's speculate from, this perspective, or let's bring up this hypothetical situation. Who knows if it's true or not, right? But see, me, I'm looking at it from a sense like WWE is kind of like the reason why they broadcasted it is a way to kind of save their ass, a way to kind of say, hey, I know we advertised this six-pack challenge with these women, and apparently Sasha Banks and Naomi didn't feel safe with some people that were in there. Doudrop, maybe. That's the only one that I kind of could think of. Maybe Asuka, because they haven't been in the ring with her in a while. I couldn't think, just looking at the women that were involved in that match, I don't know who they were trying to reference there whenever they were talking about unsafe. That was just kind of one thing that stuck out to me, because that means that somebody here in the WWE women's roster is perceived amongst the peers as an unsafe worker, at least to some people, and that's never a good thing.
Well, I can kind of agree with that because, like, what happened with Becky Lynch and that match that she had with Asuka, like that mist or whatever it was, whenever she, like, spit it in her face. That could probably be something I could see, like, somebody having a problem with, but I don't know. I can't really see, like, Doudrop as a problem, or who else was in it?
Nikki ASH.
Maybe her.
Excuse me, Asuka. I know she was another one. Becky Lynch, and then Naomi and Sasha.
Okay, yeah. So, maybe Nikki ASH. That's the only other person, just because, like, personality type, the way she was kind of, like, perceived with the Rhea Ripley tag team. I don't know. Then maybe that was like something that they were trying to bring up, but I don't know, man. Just it's hard for me to actually, like, follow this as something that couldn't have been great, because, like, if you think about it, like, if they would have won, because they were both going to get title opportunities, if they would have won, that's like unifying everything, for even the women. So that's even kind of exciting, like how can you just like kind of step away from that? Like as if, I mean, I understand disrespecting the women's championships, or tag team championships. Sorry about that. But they're about to have opportunities to carry that and those at the same time,
Exactly. And I totally understand that perspective. However, they were already told that they were going to lose to Ronda Rousey. Okay. Sasha Banks was going to lose to Ronda, and then Naomi was going to lose to Bianca at the pay-per-view that they weren't going to be defending their SmackDown Women's Championships. And they kind of just felt disrespected, felt like they were being used as maybe like a tool to try to put them over, maybe get Ronda Rousey to a bigger opponent. There's been speculation that it's going to be Bayley or somebody like that. That's the thing here, I guess, is that they already knew they were going to lose. They felt disrespected. Sasha Banks has gone on record saying multiple times that she feels like she's done eating pizza. She's eating steak now, so it's tough. I mean, because Sasha Banks is she's a big ticket. She's a big time draw. She's one of the best women's wrestlers on the roster right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say how you kind of just like did that comparison with the pizza to steak. Like it's hard for me not to believe that Fox doesn't want, like they're not gonna do everything in their power to get Sasha to come back. So the indefinitely suspension is kind of a little twist to me, just because like I've seen, like the Brock thing,
Yeah.
No, I don't know. So it's easy for
somebody say they're suspended indefinitely, next thing you know they're back for whatever reason. Exactly. That's a good point.
I mean, just playing into it, just thoughts and just kind of putting like ones and twos together in my mind,
No, yeah, that makes sense, and that's a good point to bring up, because that is a side of a coin. You don't want to leave any stones unturned in this situation when you're talking about why. People are trying to figure out why. Is this real? What's going to happen? I mean, they did talk about it, and Michael Cole used words like Sasha Banks and Naomi let us all down, and we're all disappointed in them. Well, Pat McAfee's kind of just sitting there, didn't say a word. I like that from Pat.
I saw like the eyebrows.
Yeah, he was kind of just like, what? I mean, Pat will do that. I mean, I do appreciate that from him, and you could just tell immediately he's on the side of Sasha and Naomi. He knows the reason why they did this is from like a creative standpoint, a talent creation. Like they want to have a little bit of say so, and they don't want to get their tag team title reign just put on the back burner so they can lose, and what's that going to do for them? We both just lost. Okay, well, let's go defend our championships. I understand there's not a women's tag team division, but that's what they're standing up for. They're trying to, make it mean a little bit more. And maybe to them, they felt like their run did mean more, and maybe felt a little bit disrespected by the plans and by the booking or whatever it was. It was kind of crazy. It came out of nowhere. I don't watch Raw live, so I was really behind. But I did see that advertisement. I saw the 6-pack challenge, and then people were talking in the Discord server, and that's whenever I kind of started to get plugged into it. I saw people saying, hey, what's going on? What's this? And there was a lot of speculation. Is it a work? Is it a shoot? What's going on here? Eventually, we all realized it's pretty damn real. Like, I mean, Matt's already, he's going to do a lot of digging. He's gone on several shows and confirmed, like, hey, this is real, guys. And I know Matt isn't the end-all, be-all, but he's looking at the credible sources. He's looking at, like, Sean Ross Sapp, people like that. Dave Meltzer, just, pretty credible wrestling sources who have been around for a really long time. And, man, this is just one of those things that kind of sucks, because I was really high on this tag team. I really was. Like, I was really, like, I was buying into the fact that they were believable. Like, they could kick some ass, against damn near any tag team, especially in the women's division right now. Nobody could match up against them. I like the feud that they had going on with Natty and Shayna Baszler. And for them to be suspended indefinitely, man, I just think that this is. I mean, my gut feeling right now is telling me this isn't going to end well. Like, it's not. Who knows? Like you said, Sasha Banks is big. Fox has a little bit of say so. Hey, get us this star back. Do what you got to do. But as of right now, man, I could tell you that I'm not too optimistic about this.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm on the other hand, so I mean, I'm hoping something like plays out of all this. So, I mean, definitely interested in seeing what evolves from all this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm glad we kind of talked about that at the top of the show, obviously. That's what people want to hear. We kind of talked about it. We're the first show since it happened, since, the news broke or whatever. So, I mean, the fact that we get to talk about it here, I really wanted to, open the show with that and kind of let it set the tone. But anyways, we can officially dive in here to the rest of SmackDown and, take it from the top like we normally do. This SmackDown aired on May 20th, 2022 from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the show opens how it usually would, especially on a big-time show like this where the main event features the Bloodline, so you know it's going to open with Roman Reigns and company. And they started off, Paul Heyman kind of opens it up by calling it the greatest night in the history of tag team wrestling. And I thought that was pretty interesting that he said that there. And then he repeatedly calls Roman Reigns the GOAT. But I want to put a pin in it there. Who is your favorite tag team of all time? Or who do you think is the greatest tag team of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah, just all time. Just, it doesn't matter if you don't want to name anybody from way back in the day, but just like when you think of tag team wrestling, who's the team that kind of jumps out to you?
Dude, I don't know. To me, the Dudley Boys
Okay,
is a
I
team
like
that
that.
jumps out to me. Like, I always like their like gimmick and everything like that. So that's a team on my end.
Especially whenever they added Spike Dudley there. But I'm a Hardy Boy guy through and through. Love the Hardys, obviously. But the Dudleys are definitely a team that, Ruthless Aggression era there on Monday Night Raw. They were a mainstay, and I was seeing them on a weekly basis. So definitely have a little bit of a personal attachment there to the Dudleys as well. Just wanted to ask that really quickly. Just a question I wrote down here. But anyways, we can continue on here. Paul Heyman starts talking about the opportunity that is in front of the Usos tonight and the chance that they have to be entrenched as the quote-unquote GOATs of the tag team division. And he says that tonight they will go home with the championships or they won't go home to the island of relevancy again. So basically saying you win, you can come home with us. If you lose, you're out. So, that kind of just even upped the stakes a little bit more in this match. But anyway, Roman Reigns asked for the mic back from Paul Heyman, and then he kind of explains why he has such high expectations for the Usos and basically says that it's all out of love. I thought this was a really good opening segment, kind of set the tone for the entire show and let you know that it was going to be a good one.
Well, yeah, man, this was definitely, acknowledge the Bloodline night, like Roman had said and everything. So this was great, especially like everything that's going to come to the end of this. So, yeah, that speech that Paul Heyman gave, so energetic, dude. Like, I even got chills, just sitting there watching it. I was like, if these guys aren't pumped up, ready to do their dang thing, man, I don't know what else.
One thing was actually pretty funny, though, about this segment that I saw. They panned the camera to the crowd, and you just saw a girl who was standing there. You could tell she's with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
She even kind of leaned over right as soon as Roman Reigns said, Grand Rapids, acknowledge me.
Yeah.
They panned the camera to her. They had a lot of crowd shots tonight, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But I will say it was funny, though. They turned the camera to this girl, and you just see after Roman Reigns said, acknowledge me, all you see is her say, what's that even mean? Like, she was just like kind of getting technical with it. I just thought that was funny. I kind of pictured myself in that situation, what I would say if somebody asked me that. But it was just a little funny thing for the camera to pick up. But like I said, good opening segment, kind of set the tone for this entire show. And it does keep rolling here with Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Anytime these two dudes go at it, this is going to be a damn good match. And regardless of the storyline or situation behind it, if you put these two dudes in the ring and you ring the bell, expect some pretty good things to happen. And now remember, these two dudes fought a couple weeks ago. I don't remember if it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was, but Sami Zayn won with a countout. That was his original countout win. He tried to do it again last week to Drew McIntyre or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened or whoever it was that he fought. Memory isn't too great right now, guys. It's damn near midnight where we are. But anyways, they have this match. Obviously, it's going pretty well. Shinsuke Nakamura tries to return the favor for Sami Zayn and get a little bit of a count-out win himself, but Sami Zayn narrowly makes it back into the ring where he's immediately met with a Kinshasa. Got it out good that time. And then immediately pinned. Shinsuke Nakamura gets the win. Anything on this match?
Well, the very beginning of this, whenever they were walking out and Shinsuke was coming down the aisle and then Bloodline was walking out.
Yeah, walking out, yeah.
That was kind of just like a funny little interaction that kind of stuck out to me and everything like that. But I don't know, man. Sammy, he's definitely letting Bloodline down, with handling this Shinsuke, I don't know, opportunity or whatever you would want to call it that he got going on his own mind and stuff. But I don't know, man. I just don't think that these countouts that he's trying to go for is something that's strong for him. He's definitely a good wrestler and everything. So I should expect more of a strong matches, I guess you could say, rather than these little runarounds that he's doing.
Yeah, most definitely. And I agree with you. He's kind of letting them down for whatever reason. You see him there wearing those Bloodline shirts.
It's funny. I'm still interested in it. Like I said, this whole little thing that he got going on. Yeah, it's kind of interesting for me.
No, without a doubt. Sami Zayn is the epitome of making lemonade out of lemons. He's the epitome of taking chicken, what, and turning it into good stuff. I don't even know that expression, so I shouldn't have even started saying it. But anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. Sami Zayn is good at handling, situations that aren't really set up to be successful, but he just does a damn good job. Even whenever he looks like a fool, you can come away from it still liking Sami Zayn a little bit. And that's kind of what put him over with me in the first place. But anyways, another thing I liked here on the show, continuing on, Happy Talk. I like this one. I'm going to get to it. I'll tell you why. All right.
I mean, he cut it.
Yeah. That's it. That's the main thing right here. I mean, he's outside of the ring. He's standing next to the Andre the Giant trophy. And he says that all of us, the people in attendance, everybody's jealous of him, right? He points out that he's wearing a $12,000 hat, a $70,000 watch, and then brags about putting Madcap Moss on the shelf. Shows us the video multiple times of him, injuring Madcap. I will say this was just a vicious promo. I mean, he didn't stumble on any words. If you just look at his face, it was a different version of Corbin. If he is taking his game to a next level being a heel, I'm all for it, honestly, because he is a pretty good asset to the company. He can do several things. You need somebody to, just take some immediate heat, get the hell kicked out of him at the end of the show. Baron Corbin's right there for you. You need to put a babyface over, have Baron Corbin come out, run down the town, talk crap to a babyface, just have this guy come out, kick his ass, all that good stuff. I mean, there's ways to do it, and I just think Baron Corbin is a valuable part to the company. A lot of people don't like him. I get it, obviously. He's kind of annoying. But at the same time, tonight, just like the promo he cut, I just feel like he took it to another level. I just felt like his delivery, everything about it, just the look on his face. I just kind of wrote it down there like, all right, I'm going to watch you. You got my attention. Let's see what you can do from here. But anyways, really quickly here. Sorry, my phone turned off. But anyways, all right, he destroys the trophy after that promo, and then he holds up that Andre the Giant, like 24-inch statue thing that they put on top of the trophy. You know what it is. Mm-hmm. That's disrespectful right there, honestly. And I'm not, like, seriously upset about it, but just, like, from a wrestling standpoint, you holding up Andre the Giant, like, I'm just like, Andre's probably saying, like, what the hell do I got to do with this? He freaking bringing me involved.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just thought that was kind of like, oh, man, there's some Andre the Giant fans out there that already think that the Andre the Giant, like, Battle Royal itself and what it's become is disrespectful in of itself. Mm-hmm. That's like, all right, the fact that you're doing this Andre the Giant Battle Royal that used to be on WrestleMania. Now you backed it down to SmackDown. It's all the nobodies pretty much. You don't have anything going on. People think that in of itself is a little bit disrespectful to Andre the Giant. So needless to say, Baron Corbin just ripping that thing off and holding it up. I mean, you can talk about building some heat. That just kind of added to the promo that I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely did that, man. Especially like that. I don't know where he huffed and he puffed, and he called himself that bald lone wolf. And
oh my God!
Like that.
I was like,
dude, that was freaking awesome right there. I mean, especially like his facial expression and everything like that. Like the hat kind of went with it. But I mean, all I can say is forget Corbin, man.
Yeah,
I don't like what he's doing right now, but he's doing his thing. I can say that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one thing. You gotta kind of roll with it. It's kind of like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. For a while there, you could not pay me to like Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. Like for 2016 when they first came up to the main roster, I didn't watch NXT. I just saw these dudes. I'm like, they don't look like professional wrestlers. Who the hell are these dudes? I don't watch the indie scene. I had no idea who Kevin Steen and El Generico are. That was their name back in like ROH or whatever. But anyways, was not familiar with these guys. So it took a little bit for them to get over with me. And inevitably, it was their ring work and their characters that eventually did it for me. So who knows? Something like that could happen for you and Baron Corbin eventually down the line. But anyways, let's move on to another match here. We get Drew Gulak versus Gunther. And I will say I almost tried to do the ring general thing like Ludwig Kaiser. I almost did it. I feel like I was kind of watching it during the show. I was kind of like, said it in my head a little bit, maybe mumbled it a little bit to myself, practiced a little bit. Not ready to, put it on the show yet. I'm going to polish it a little bit. Not quite ready to rock, but hey, who knows? Maybe next week or something like that, I will have an impression going on there. But we'll see whenever we get there. But anyways, this match obviously very one-sided. Gunther puts Gulak in the Boston Crab after he wins this match. And then Ricochet obviously comes out, saves the day. We get a little bit of face-off. You could expect Ricochet to kind of be intertwined in this storyline going forward. Not a whole lot of stuff to take away from this as far as like the actual, match itself. I mean, it was just basically a squash match. Gunther was letting him hit him. He was basically saying, hey, chop me. Give me a few shots here. And letting him do it. The more I see Gunther, the more like I'm impressed with how in shape he is. I still need to show you a video of him just like a year ago I keep saying I'm doing it. Remind me after the show. I will freaking do that. But anyways, I do have a question for you, though, really quickly here. And this is kind of a little bit of tie-in from my personal show, Football Function. So if you don't listen to that show, definitely do that. Obviously, I would appreciate the hell out of you if you did. But anyways, we do a thing over there called This or That. Mm-hmm. And I have a This or That for you, John.
Okay.
Would you rather take, literally, as hard as you possibly can, a chop from Gunther to the chest, or take your shirt off and let Bianca Belair wind her hair up and whip you real good right there on the side? Which one?
Those are both painful. You saw Becky Lynch and her
Right there
scars or
underneath the
bruises,
chest, yeah.
whatever you want to call those things.
They're gashes.
I'd rather take the chop.
I'll take the chop too, although
With a
that can,
shirt.
a good chance.
I was gonna say with the shirt on.
Oh no, he's ripping that shirt off.
Oh,
That's the thing. You at least get to lift your shirt up, maybe take it off yourself if Bianca Belair's doing it. If Gunther's doing it, that's part of the thing. He gets to rip it off. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm still taking that.
All right, yeah, I understand. Me too, definitely. So, just kind of wanted to ask you that really quickly. If you're a listener, obviously, let us know, whether it's in the mailbag or the Discord chat. Let us know which one you would rather do, take a chop from Gunther or let Bianca Belair give you a nice hair whip.
That's a good
I'm
one,
intrigued to hear which one you would do. But anyways, yeah, that's how that one went. Gunther just running through enhancement talent, now lower bottom tier wrestlers on the roster. Eventually he's going to work his way up. Now obviously looks like Ricochet might be involved, but hey, you better be careful, Ricochet, because he will take that Intercontinental Championship from you very fast, and you will never see it again. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to something else that happened here in the show, and this one's a little bit interesting. All right, caught my eye. John's new favorite SmackDown superstar, possibly, who knows if he's on the roster, Max Dupree is officially making appearances here on SmackDown. He approaches Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce apparently is not for it, not a fan of Max Dupree, and he basically says, hey, look, Sonya Deville hired you. She's no longer in an official or WWE official position. So I need to hit up my legal team or something like that. I don't know exactly what he said, but basically, I want to call him LA Knight because that's what his name used to be. But Max Dupree says, no, me and my team have a contract here, So I don't know. This is going to get sticky, but like I said, as far as promo work goes, this dude's good. Like, very, very good. I'm sure he's a hell of a wrestler, too, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch him like that. But anytime I see this dude pick up a microphone, very, very impressive.
Well, I can say, yeah. I mean, whenever just first interaction, because I don't know him as the LA Knight, as you said, but, just watching him for this first time, yeah, he definitely was like, direct with what he was wanting to do and everything like that, cutting off Adam Pearce. And I thought it was just good, but I don't know, just the name was the thing that got me, just the Dupree.
Yeah.
It was just funny. So
and Adam Pearce still hasn't gotten it right. He's like, oh, man, you're so close. He's gonna piss him off. Get his damn name right. All right.
Well, yeah, that was pretty good.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to another match here. A women's match. Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Dang.
I'm working on it, all right?
Sure.
But anyway, one thing I did take away from this, obviously, just in terms of like the in-ring stuff, because Raquel's pretty damn good. These two women, they probably had matches before in the past. I bet they have house show matches all the time. So you could tell they had worked together. But the corkscrew splash that Raquel did whenever she bounced off the top rope, did that spin, landed on her, that was beautiful. She executed that perfectly with how big she is. It actually looked like, damn, that move would really hurt me, So I love the way that looked. They showed the women's locker room backstage watching this match to kind of put them over and say, hey, we're interested in both these young, talented wrestlers. But Raquel wins with a Chingona bomb, but they bleeped it out. Did you catch that?
Yeah,
both times. Why?
I think it was more than twice, yeah, because I was actually listening
I heard
to
Michael
it.
Cole and Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
the Pat
for sure.
McAfee one was blatant because you didn't hear Michael Cole's, and then it said, Michael Cole, her move is called the...
Yep.
And then it just went blank. I was like, oh my gosh, are they not telling us this? I barely learned how to say this word. Now they're going to freaking take it away from us? Oh my gosh, it wasn't something that I was fond of, I guess you could say, but let's see how it goes. It could have just been a glitch, maybe just a coincidence that it, crapped out, the audio crapped out in the exact same time that they said her move both times. Who knows?
Yeah, I did catch that though. But I mean, it was good to see Shotzi, coming back and everything. I mean, just because her, I don't know, her personality and everything is kind of, that dark side. I don't know. Another Ding dong right there. But anyways, I don't know. I mean, just seeing that match between them, I mean, Raquel, she's freaking strong, dude. You know, she needs to be like having matches with Shayna Baszler, the EST, maybe even go against Ronda again. I mean, that was pretty interesting too. But I don't know, man. I just think she's above, you know, all these people that they got going against right now.
The way this women's roster is starting to shape up, though, when you look at the young talent, I mean, think about it. Raquel Gonzalez is not a small lady. Neither is Bianca Belair. Neither is Rhea Ripley. These are all young talent that they have on the roster. And just it looks like they're kind of getting away from that, you know, Alexa Bliss type builds in terms of like the women's wrestlers that they're pushing. Because I'm not going to lie, whenever Bliss was just winning championship after championship, I was like, okay, I get it. She's talented. But at some point, I'm like, she's like 5 feet, you know, and that's nothing against short people or anything like that. I'm just simply saying, like, from a believability standpoint, like there was way more talented wrestlers on the roster. I don't know. I'm not trying to make it like seem like I'm taking a shot at Alexa Bliss because obviously she's good in the ring. She's gonna eventually win another championship, but she was dominating in a like almost like in a way that Charlotte Flair's been dominating. You know, she was holding one of those championships for a very long time, and she was a good heel champion. I'm not taking anything away from her, but just like, you know, kind of like Zelina Vega. People say all the time, like, hey, she's talented. There's a chance that she could eventually be like a women's champion. I just don't see it. Like, I just don't see how she could be a believable champion, like, because I don't see her as the type that's going to get clean win after clean win after clean win on actually top-tier opponents that are in that women's division. And that's just kind of like one thing I've noticed. Like, Charlotte Flair being the prototype. You know, she's the poster woman of the women, or the women's division here in WWE. And that's kind of like what they're trying to build now. You know, they're trying to clone more Charlotte Flairs. Look at Rhea Ripley. Now Bianca Belair, obviously not small at all. And then Raquel Gonzalez. I just like to see this, honestly. You know, I like to see there being some women in the company that look like maybe they can kick some of the dudes' ass.
Yeah, I mean, well, I wouldn't say all that, but
Ask Drew Gulak, bud.
he definitely did get his tail beat by 2 different women. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, like you said, Raquel, she's definitely a different breed, you know. So, I mean, seeing that kind of direction that you're trying to go with, I'm cool with that, you know, just because, you know, there are some freaking beast of women.
Some powerhouses,
out there, you know?
yeah.
I mean, I'm even leaving out Rhea Ripley. Dang, that kind of cut me right there. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know, just like her going to the dark side and everything like that. Like, I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, definitely need to match them up together. But I don't know, man. It's going to be exciting.
No
That's
doubt.
for sure.
No doubt. Well, let's go ahead and move on here, right? We get a backstage interview with Caleb Braxton. She interviews Xavier Woods. He cuts a nice little promo here, basically, you know, calling out Butch for, like, not going one-on-one with him, right? How he always has help. He always has backup. He says that's something that somebody would do if they were Butch made. We all know the little play on words that he was trying to say. That I like that type of stuff. But anyways, he does call him out and says, give me this one-on-one match, and that is what we get. Butch versus Xavier Woods. Another backwoods win, though. It's kind of like wash, rinse, repeat. We're getting the same thing, it seems like, every single week. And I know they're going at it for like 5 to 6 minutes. Yeah, they're trying to showcase that P. Dunne, a.k.a. Butch, is a hell of a wrestler. And he can match up with someone like Xavier Woods, who's no slouch in his own right. Xavier Woods could put on a hell of a match. And these two, you know, together, I mean, it's not in the same tier as Shinsuke versus Sami Zayn, but like in terms of like a mid-card status, if you want to call it that, they can go. And I like seeing these dudes, but at the same time, I'm saying, like, man, like I kind of said it on the last week's show, like I'm kind of getting tired of this. You know, it's been going on since Big E was still here in terms of these two teams going at it. Like, put that into perspective. They've been doing this for a while. And I'm all for long-term storylines that aren't, you know, centered around a championship, because that's kind of nice. You know, this has been something that we know, you know, we've gotten, but at the same time, like, dude, like, storylines shouldn't continue through like WrestleMania, you know, like WrestleMania season. We should start fresh. We should get a little bit of a new start. And hopefully now that, you know, WrestleMania Backlash is behind us, we're starting to transition into like the summer season of these pay-per-views. I am all for it, but I don't know. It was just one of those things, like watching them wrestle and seeing them in with a roll-up. I was like, man, how many times are we going to have to cover this exact finish on the show, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I do get the, you know, repetitiveness and everything like that. But, I mean, it just felt like they had got lost, you know, for a while, just because, like, the accident that had happened with Big E, you know, shout out to him and everything like that. But, I mean, it seemed like it was going to be going great, you know, but now, I mean, I don't know if you had caught that where they said, or Xavier Woods had said that there was going to be like a third person that comes in to help him next
dude.
week.
Yeah, it's right here, but yeah.
Yeah, my bad if I
No,
cut
no,
you
no
or
worries,
anything
no
like
worries.
that. But, you know, just working my way into it. I mean, it's exciting to see, you know, now they got something or someone to like kind of help with that third row that was supposed to be filled already, you know. So, I mean, we saw that there was something that was going to be, you know, but of course, here we are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because that is right here. I put Sheamus and Ridge sneak up on Woods as he's walking up the ramp, and then Butch kind of comes up and cheap shots him from behind. And then Xavier Woods is approached by Megan backstage. I still don't know her last name, but she is one of the only Megans, so I do apologize. Whatever. I'm a stooge. Sorry. But anyway, Megan approaches her, and he says, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off right there. I'm tired of this BS. They've been doing this. You know, Ridge has been around. Sheamus has been around since he put Big E on the shelf. We're gonna even the odds next week. Kofi Kingston's gonna be back, and I'm gonna have a mystery opponent. Somebody is going to be on our team to go at it with these guys. Who do you think it's gonna be?
I don't know. I was sitting on the couch, like trying to think, like, who would gel with these guys, like, so, you know, well. But I couldn't come up with a name for some reason. So I was kind of just like sitting here, like, just blank. Like, okay, this is gonna be kind of interesting whenever the person is revealed, you know.
Probably gonna be Drew McIntyre or something.
I hope it's not nothing big like that. I mean, 'cause I want it to be still a like pretty balanced match. I mean, I know Sheamus is pretty big name on the other side, but I mean, I still want to see like, because I think if we were to line it up, I think Kofi can handle Ridge, Xavier Woods can handle Sheamus, but who's going to be in there to handle the little aggressive guy?
They're gonna bring Rey Mysterio up, huh? Okay,
I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
No, I'm just joking. But no, it is kind of cool, honestly. And anytime I'm put in these situations where like they say, "Oh, we got a mystery opponent," I always feel like it should be used to like, if not call somebody up from NXT, you know, kind of bring us a new talent up to the SmackDown roster. I'm always for that. Bringing somebody over from Raw, that'd be pretty cool as well. Have somebody come back from an injury. I'm not really sure if there's any male wrestlers that are out right now, but
Rick.
Who?
Rick?
Oh, no, he's out for a while. He'll be out for a little while longer.
That was high hopes right there.
Yeah, definitely had some high hopes there. But either way, I'm looking forward to whoever it ends up being. That'll be pretty badass. But anyways, we can go ahead and move on. Obviously, we already talked about Michael Cole addressing the Sasha Banks and Naomi stuff. That's what happened next, which was kind of weird that they waited till right before the unification match to do this. It was very specifically put in before, let's put it right in before this main event style pay-per-view match, you know, that like, because that's one thing I was going to say. This felt like a pay-per-view main event. Like, I was like, man, I've been waiting for this, you know, sat down, even, you know, Aish and Caleb were right there with me. They were ready to watch this thing as well, and it was just pretty hyped up. You know, we're looking forward to it, and obviously, you know, they go back and forth. It's lives up to being like a pay-per-view match. These two teams work well together, but it's not that long, honestly. Like, I expected this match to be a lot longer, the actual unification match. There was some stuff that happened afterwards, but I mean, the way this match ended was Paul Heyman distracts the ref while Jay Uso and Matt Riddle are kind of on the top rope, and they're kind of, you know, tangled up. We don't really know who's going to end up falling down, but Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere when the referee is distracted. And he essentially just like pushes Riddle off, gives Jay the advantage, who hits an Uso splash, pins Matt Riddle 1, 2, 3, and RK Bro is no longer the Raw Tag Team Champions. And now the Usos are now the unified, undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure we'll hear it eventually said. I don't know when. But man, this was like we knew it was going to happen. We weren't sure if it was going to happen tonight. You know, we weren't sure if they were going to try to prolong this a little bit. Have Roman Reigns interfere. Not a clean finish. Hell in a Cell is right around the corner. Let's have the unification match inside the cell where nobody can get involved. You know, I feel like it was almost booking itself. But they didn't do that. They decided to go right through it. Excuse me. And now we have the Usos as the double champs. Like, they have all the gold. They're the tag team to beat right now. And I feel like from a tag team division standpoint, this was the right decision. You know, making there only be one set of belts that they go after. Clearly, I think that's the right thing to do. But from a brand split standpoint, and I know this is already tired. No one even gives a crap about the brand split anymore because it's over. But them unifying the tag team championships is pretty much just like the official, all right, like, there's nothing. Like, that was the one, well, I guess, like, the women's belts, right? There's still a Raw women's belt, a SmackDown women's belt. But don't tell Ronda Rousey that. It's just a SmackDown Championship belt or whatever the hell she calls it. But anyways, after this match is over, obviously Roman Reigns gets a little bit of revenge. How it ended last week, the title of the show was Riddle drops Reigns because he hit him with that knee to the face. Roman Reigns did not forget. He goes in there. They beat the hell out of Matt Riddle. And Matt Riddle ends up actually going through a table whenever Jey Uso hits an Uso splash. This was beautiful. He damn near missed, but man, the contact was there. We get that shot in the ring of them all holding, Roman Reigns holding up his 2 belts. The Usos doing it as well. Pretty good visual. Obviously, the Bloodline is officially, now we don't know, all right. I was expecting the Usos to lose their belts at, WrestleMania. I was expecting them to drop them, for a while there. I was like, okay, something's happened. I had a hunch. Yeah. But, whenever you catch your second win, when you're really, really tired, you think it's almost over. You think, damn, I need to stop or whatever, and you get that second win. Next thing you know, you got some more minutes in you. You got a while in you to, do whatever it is you got to do. The Usos hit their second win. They got their new belts. Now they are the unified, undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. However you want to say it, I cannot wait for them to tell me officially what it's called. I'm tired of this guessing BS. But, obviously, you're a fan of the Bloodline. You're a fan of the Usos specifically. I'm sure this was a pretty nice finish for you.
Oh, yeah, this was, I saw it, from the beginning. You had your doubts. I had my sticking to it, I guess you could say. And, it paid off. But, the match overall, it was freaking great, man. Especially, everything that happened. Riddle, he definitely took a freaking beating from beginning to end, though. I felt bad for him for, I guess you say the whole dang match, just because, whenever Randy gets in, it's kind of like a routine thing. You see the same types. He hits all his moves bam, 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 bam.
Yep.
I'm kind of just come on, man. I'm seeing this every week. Maybe get distracted one time. Turn around, throw your hands up to the crowd or something. But I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like Riddle. He just got the bad end of the stick on all this. But that splash, definitely crazy. I thought just the way Jey Uso was holding his arm, he was probably hurt or something like that. But I don't know. I thought the trajectory, what would you want to call it? The angle of it was just bad. Especially being so far away. Why do you pick that one rather than the one that's closer?
I had to get that money shot, man. I had to get the long jump. And
the thing that was crazy, you're over there, or Pat McAfee's over there standing up with holding the one up the whole time. That was freaking funny to me too. So I don't know, just little stuff, I guess you could say. And then it was so bad, dude. I don't know if you caught it, but that little kid that was freaking crying.
Dude, yes, exactly. That's what I mentioned earlier when we talked about the videos.
I was about to say, I'm not trying to laugh or anything like that, but for it to actually hit a kid like that, they did their freaking thing on that event.
I saw several kids crying in the crowd.
I saw just one specifically, and it was, I wouldn't say balling, but you could definitely, tell. I was like, wow, bro, they did that.
Yeah, definitely. Would not want to be in the car with that kid riding home right now, from the show. I'm sure there were definitely some tears. He probably got grounded, let's just being honest. No, he probably did, because in the car, he was probably throwing some toot. His mom said, all right, Bradley, it's time to settle down. It's just a show, and then he's, maybe he said a curse word here or there, it's a quick way to, all right, your PS5, out of your room, bud.
Crazy.
Something like that. I could definitely see the mom getting on her. But anyways, hopefully the kid will be able to be happy again. Obviously, probably just an RK Bro fan. Probably just, somebody. Aish was sad. In here, Caleb wasn't a fan of it either. He was just like, man, that's kind of lame. He wanted RK Bro to keep their belts as well as Aish. I'm pretty high on RK Bro, but at the same time, I'm wondering what's next for him now that this is over. Their championship reign anyways. Are they going to keep rolling this? Are they going to keep riding this money train? Or do you think that eventually, because, I've heard rumors. I showed you that little thing earlier today where Randy Orton is rumored to be Roman Reigns' next opponent, or at least maybe for SummerSlam or something like that. I think it was. Yeah, SummerSlam. That's what it was. So eventually, if he's going to be challenging for Roman Reigns, you'd expect that if they don't have the championships, what's the point of them, just staying tag team?
Yeah.
So, eventually I feel like Randy Orton, Riddle, people expect there to be a turn. People expect one of them to turn on the other one, but who knows? It could just be a mutual respect split.
Well, I'm kind of hoping more of the Riddle going after Roman Reigns. Just the knee and everything that's happening between them right now is kind of just, I don't know. That's a good little feud right there to me. So I'm okay with them kind of just rolling with that rather than Randy Orton.
Yeah. Man, I mean, there's several different avenues they can go with this, but man, it's juicy. Like I said, this was just a great episode of SmackDown, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, man. This was from beginning to end. I was in tune with it. I mean, I kind of missed like the Xavier was like I was telling you off air, but yeah, man, this definitely had me tuned in. I was all for it.
As am I. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the show. Obviously, if you've gotten to this point in the show, I definitely appreciate it, obviously. And if you, well, I mean, talking to the people who don't listen to the show, they're not going to hear this, but just so you guys know, for the people who don't listen to the show, I'm hoping that they step on Lego. So if you are listening to the show, you better come back next week. Otherwise, you will be on that list of people who we hope that Legos find their way into your barefoot path. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Obviously, if this is your first time listening, you picked the right show. Obviously, SmackDown, the unification match. Definitely hope that you enjoyed the review. If you're a regular listener, you know what this show is about. You know we come at you every single week covering SmackDown post-show. Pretty fun. It's getting more and more fun the more we do this, honestly. But thank you guys so much for making this part of your weekly routine, and hopefully you will continue to do that. But John, any shout-outs, any plugs, anything like that before we officially sign off here?
Well, before we do sign off, I kind of just wanted to, throw this out there. I don't know if everybody else had seen this, but Ric Flair maybe making a
yeah.
What would you call it?
Don't call it a comeback. Seriously,
I wouldn't say a comeback, but I mean, he just, seeing that little notification that he was bringing or coming back to the ring and stuff like that, I was kind of like, I wonder what he got going on, Like, well, what could possibly be happening about that?
Don't do it, Rick.
Hey, man, those videos of him falling over and everything like that is just funny. But I do want to give a shout out, all the Patreons and everything like that. And if you're not on Patreon, this is something that you definitely want to tune into to get rid of all these ads and everything like that. And, definitely get to see like a lot of the insight of what Matt, he brings to the table, some After Dark, some WTF, I don't know, some juicy stuff that, that we got going on over there. But also check out the WWE podcast.com, you check us out, see, interact with everybody like that. And also want to give you a shout out, my man, Football Function.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all doing y'all's thing. And, you said that y'all had a juicy sode, you and
Cousin Mike.
Cousin Mike. Uncle Mike. Gosh, damn.
Uncle Mike. Cousin
But
Mike,
yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that I'm going to tune into. But yeah, if you're into that football stuff, that right now, going over, like, breaking down coverages and everything like
fun,
that. So
man.
it's some insight and everything. But yeah, that's how I want to cut the show.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it, bud. Definitely appreciate those shout-outs, obviously. But one more time to the listener, obviously, you guys kick ass. We appreciate you guys coming back. And like he said, subscribe to Patreon. There's a lot more than just the ad-free stuff. Like, there's so many benefits. It's damn near like Matt could say, all right, it's going up to $2 a month now, just from all that. And he's not going to do that, obviously. But we're just saying that's how much bang you get for your buck. It's a lot of good stuff there. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. But with all that being said, hope you guys all have a damn good weekend. Walk passionately in the direction of your dreams. Go Celtics. Talk to you guys next time.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.